Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Green Room Podcast. I'm Matthew Brune, and joining me once again is Colin Mitchell. Colin, it's Thursday. No guests on this podcast. If y'all are watching on YouTube, we will break this up into two parts: football episode and a basketball episode. If you're listening, it's all together. So congratulations. But let's start with the football. Actually, how are you doing today? Let's get
Wow. Woke up at like 8 something to let the dogs outside, and I didn't realize that my backyard likes to pool water when it rains. So the dogs got messy. Like it's like my yard, it's like
caves.
this. Like you go,
Yeah.
yeah, it's like this. So like in the center of the yard. So this weekend, if it doesn't rain, I'm gonna do like a barrier garden thing against the fence because the dogs next door, my house, like to try to get after my dogs. And I'm gonna take that sod, I'm gonna fill it. If it's not raining this weekend though, because if it's raining, then it's all for nothing. So,
Yeah. Interesting.
yeah,
Interesting.
handyman.
You're going to single-handedly change the fabric of the earth.
I mean, it's not like it's like feet deep. It's like maybe like 2 inches of that I just
I
gotta
mean, you could
fill
go
in.
buy like sand or something as
But I'd
well.
rather already have grass on it. Sand's a good idea. You could level your yard with sand.
My funny
I
story, growing
Sorry.
up, growing up, we lived on the top of like right before it like became like a drastic hill,
Mm.
and but our backyard was already kind of slanted, and so my parents one summer were like, let's level this out. They got a ton of sand to try to level it. They get up, we start going, and eventually they just gave up like really early in the process. So for the longest time, we just had like a bed of sand at the bottom
Oh my
on
gosh.
the right side of the yard, and it just, I mean, until we moved out when I was 13 or so, and eventually grass grew over it, like you said, but like no, it's just yeah, I just
Yeah, I've
remember
been
that.
deep in the YouTube landscaping rabbit hole.
It's one thing about Colin. For those obviously who maybe do or don't know him, he when he gets involved in something, he tries to learn every single thing there is about it.
Yeah, and then I realized that I can't afford it. And that's when I'm learning about this landscaping thing. You know how much mulch costs? Jesus Christ, dude. It's just some grass seed. If a man wants some grass seed trying to overseed his yard, I don't even want it.
Mulch.
It's not even like for a thing. You know, like I feel like a lot of sorry tangent. I know how a lot of people like they want like your yard to look nice so it looks better than their neighbors. My case, I just want it to look nice. You know what I mean? Like I go
Mhm.
outside, I'm mowing the yard, and I'm like, dang, this is trash. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? So just trying to,
that's good. You hold
yeah.
yourself to a high standard. The homeowners association will love you. That's good.
And let me tell you, I hate homeowners associations, but
What did HOA do to you?
I don't know. Apparently they limit dogs here in my neighborhood. Like you're not allowed to have more than 2 dogs. They're
Hmm.
like, yeah, massive fines. Whatever. Not allowed to like stain your fence unless you get like approval, like an architectural plan to
Yeah.
give them. I didn't do that. I didn't know that when we got our fence stained when we bought the house. So hey, if you guys are listening, come get me.
This is Colin snitching on himself.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, Colin will not be getting another dog anytime soon. That's all right. He's got the two.
I only
Um,
need two.
he's got the two. Plenty of work for him. All right, let's talk football. Enough
Hmm.
about mulch.
Memphis, North Texas.
Memphis, North Texas. Saturday, 2 p.m. Another 2 o'clock game.
I'm getting tired
Uh,
of these, if we're being honest. But
well, I don't mind them.
well, you don't because you have the night game with LSU.
Yeah, but in general though, I don't mind them because, well, for the most part, to this point in the season, they've been on ESPN or CBS
That's true.
Network
That
and
is
stuff like
fair.
that.
It's
They've
been
been
like
like actually on television.
actual TV.
This game, however, will be on ESPN Plus.
Tough.
So, you wish if it's on ESPN Plus, you might as well make it a night game. I think this is homecoming week too for North Texas. So I kind of wish they could make it a night game if it's homecoming. Especially with the magnitude of this game. I think this means a lot coming off of
Hmm.
the Tulane game and the Temple game. Um, but in general, let's start with the Memphis, generalities, get to know Memphis. 5-2 overall, 2-1 in the American. Here's their schedule so far. Win over Bethune-Cookman by 42, win over Arkansas State by 34, win over Navy by 4, 28-24. Lost to Missouri on the road 34-27. win over Boise State 35-32, lost to Tulane 31-21, and a win over UAB 45-21. I watched that UAB game. So I think I've watched in total, if you put everything together, I watched the first half of the UAB game. I watched most of that Tulane game because I was scouting Tulane. And then I actually this morning I went back and watched the first half of their game against Missouri. Actually, the first 3 quarters of the game against Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
So you put that together, I feel like I have a pretty good feel for what this Memphis team is. In the second half against UAB last week, they outscored them 24-0 and just shut them out, put them away 45-21 for the win. So that was a good performance. Tulane, like we talked about, that was a pretty good showing from Memphis to hang in there, have a lead for a lot of the game, and eventually, even though you lose, showed up. The Missouri game, I think, was probably their best game of the season.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where to start with Memphis, but like that Missouri game, they played their butts off. Defensively, you're going against Luther Burden at receiver, Brady Cook at quarterback, like a really good offense. And I thought Memphis played really solid defensively, and Seth Hennigan and company did a nice job moving the ball as well. He went 31 of 47. Did have the 2 picks, but I didn't think they were like bad, awful
Yeah.
interceptions. They ran the ball pretty well against Missouri. Oh no, hold on, wait, let me. Well, it depends how you categorize with the sacks and without sacks. So I mean, with the sacks, they averaged 3 yards per carry. But regardless, I thought they actually hung in there really well through 3 quarters. And but I'm looking for the third down numbers.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
not for
dude,
nothing, Missouri is really good this year.
they held Missouri to 0 of 8 on third downs.
Yeah.
Like I noticed, I didn't know the numbers, but yeah, 0 of 8 on third downs. That Memphis defense was really good in that game. So that's kind of an overarching view what I've seen of Memphis so far.
Cool.
Where do you want to start when attacking this? Which side of the
My
ball?
my thing is leaving the Tulane game, we need to level or decide what our expectations need to be going into this game. Is it going to be a situation where it's okay, now it's a 50-50 shot that they have a chance to beat this Memphis team because they hung their own against Tulane? Or is it going to be a situation where we think North Texas is going to come back down to earth a little bit? I'm of the mindset of the latter, unfortunately.
Mhm.
More so because of what Memphis has done thus far and not what North Texas has done. I think it's really hard to I put Memphis and Tulane pretty close. Obviously, Tulane I think is a tier above, but I think Memphis is really close to being in that upper echelon of group of 5 teams. And with that being said, I think that it's going to be really hard for North Texas to come out, play a tough Tulane opponent, give it your all, and then do it again.
That's a good point. To get up for back-to-back games, that's probably the hardest part of this stretch of death is the mental side of it,
Yeah,
where albeit you had a bye week fairly early, but now you rip through these 4 games and you take that. I don't want to call it a gut punch, but you put a lot into that Tulane game. Both,
everything into that Tulane game.
yeah, both schematically, the onside kick, right? You're not gonna get another onside kick like that. Teams will have prepared now that you've done that, like stuff like that. Maybe quick plays, maybe fourth down plays that they went to. Teams will have scouted now because you ran 5 of them last game. Like there's a lot of things where you put on tape that much effort to win a game, which you should. Now you face a Memphis team that is going to come prepared.
Yeah,
And it's very, very good. Like, I mean, we watched I forgot we watched the Navy game too.
yeah,
Memphis versus Navy early in the season, week 3, I think it was. And Navy hung in there with them for a while. I think it actually came down to what I know Navy was up early, Memphis came back. But regardless, this is a Memphis team that with Seth Hennigan and I think a pretty good running back group, it feels like a veteran-ish ball club that's just knows what they can do. And I think this is a much better team than it was last year when North Texas had a chance to win.
mm-hmm.
Um, but outside of the Austoni pick sixes. So I think going back to your point of setting expectations, I am concerned that North Texas had to put so much into that Tulane game to try to come back. I think it was obviously good that they did come back and showed a pulse,
Yeah,
showed offensive, the offense can come alive against a defense like that. The defense can get stops. But at the same time, now it's all right, get up and do it again.
Yeah.
If you go down 21-0, come back again. Like, it gets tiring at a certain point whenever you face these good teams and you take those punches in the mouth. They stack up pretty
Well, you
quickly.
hope that you wouldn't have to put your defense in a situation to go down 21-0 again. But I think that for North Texas, in order for North Texas to beat Memphis, it's going to have to be another flawless type of game. I don't think, because like you said, you're not going to get that onside again. You're not going to be able to go to all those fourth down plays again. It's going to be a situation where you're going to have to come out not hot. You don't have to come out hot, but you have to come out with an offense that's going to be able to do something in the first half of this game.
Do you subscribe to the belief that since this is homecoming week, maybe and I mean playing at home in general, but then also maybe getting the homecoming boost? Do you think
No,
that that'll help North Texas?
no, I've never seen a homecoming boost as a North Texas fan in my life.
Well, I feel like most North Texas homecomings in our lifetimes have been against UTEP, and those have usually
Right,
been wins.
right,
So
right.
I'm a little thrown off right now that they got Memphis as the homecoming game. I don't know
my
if they
my
could have.
more my more overarching concern into this is that North Texas comes out. I don't want to say flat, but comes out in a way that isn't pleasing to fans' expectations, and then it goes back to the same thing where it's like, oh well, maybe this team isn't good. Whereas I think that would be unfair to hold them to that, because like I said, I think it's gonna be really hard to put up two good performances. Like if they lose by 2 touchdowns, like I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, it's awful. Obviously, it depends on how the way it happens, right? Like if Chandler Rogers
Yeah,
throws 2 pick sixes or something like that, Ani style, then that's a
yeah,
problem. But if they just lose by 2 touchdowns, I'm not gonna come up here on the reaction pod and be like, oh, this team is not what we thought they were, because I think it's going to just be really hard to get up for 2 weeks.
yeah. I think our perception of this team is very fair right now. We're not holding it to a standard of, oh, you have to, you know, cover the spread even 7.5
Yeah,
against Memphis. I mean, last week, in my opinion, probably bought him some time in terms of getting a win. Like we wanted to see improvement week after week. We saw that against Tulane. We saw the defense take steps forward. We saw Rogers be awesome. We saw them do it against good defense even. So now I think going into this game, we say, all right, the offense is going to score points. I'm fairly confident. I think Memphis's defense is good. I think it's honest. It's not on the level of Tulane, but it's up there, like you said. So if the offense scores 28 points again, I'm going to leave very happy with that.
mm-hmm.
The defense, I can't expect them to hold Memphis to 27 points.
Right.
Like I can't expect that. So that's where it comes in is like, all right, how serious do you want to take the result here? And I think it's really a no-loss situation here because North Texas showed last week it was competitive. North Texas offense will be competent again. The only thing that can go wrong, obviously, is if you get blown out at home. And on one hand, that would remind us a lot of the Seth Luttrell games where, those are the big games and you get blown out. However, I'm just going to go back to that Tulane game.
Exactly.
Like if they get blown out against Memphis and fans are like, oh, this is Seth Luttrell all over again, I'm just going to turn around to last week because that Tulane performance is something that, like I said, did not happen under Seth Luttrell.
Never.
That type of comeback, that type of resilience, that type of adjustments to make those plays and almost get a win on the road against a top 25 team was incredible. So I think he's bought himself enough time. And he, in the press conference, he was like, we're not here for moral victories. And I think he said all the right things. I wonder if you watched our podcast, side note,
I doubt it.
where I was like,
But if you're listening, come on the pod.
come on the pod. We do accept this year only. We are accepting some moral victories.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Some wins
cash
on
those in
paper,
while you
wink,
can.
wink.
Yeah, cash those in while you can. Let me tell you that. But yeah, Memphis this week. I don't want to say I have low expectations, but I think I'm just open-minded. I think that's a way of putting
Yeah,
it.
it's well, because we haven't seen a North Texas team that has had to, I guess, recover from such a performance. Like what was the word you used earlier? I guess exhausting performance to try to come back. Like we've never
Yeah.
really seen that. And then two, we've also never seen an Eric Morris team. Like we don't know what this team's gonna do after a performance like that. So, I'm with you. I'm open minded. Obviously, outside of a win, what are you looking for, like go to the game, they lose. What are you looking for from this team? Because obviously, what we wanted against Tulane was competitiveness. That's what we were looking for, an improvement. What's the improvement against Memphis for you?
If the defense sustains what it showed in the second half against Tulane,
Yeah.
if this defense holds Memphis to under, if they hold the Memphis to under 35 points,
Yeah, I was just going to say that.
I'm going to rip my shirt off and start going crazy. I might pull some Stone Cold Steve Austin if they hold Memphis under 35 points. Yeah, that's what I can do. If under 35 points, I will do the Stone Cold Steve Austin.
I don't think you're allowed to until you go bald.
I'm not going bald. You're going bald.
I'm coming back.
You're not coming back. We'll get to that later. But yeah, I think if the defense shows consistency or at least, like I said, 35 or less points, under 35 points is a massive win because, and I don't think I'm setting standards too low because this was a defense that couldn't get a stop against La Tech, like Abilene Christian, FIU, go down the list. That will have been back-to-back games against Memphis. To me, is probably a top 40 team in the country. Like that's back-to-back games against very high-level competition that you have shown improvement and consistency, and that would be huge there. So the defense is what I'm looking for here.
Yeah, for me, I think it's going to be offensive start. Obviously, I know this team can score points, but I'd like them to not put pressure on the defense early and have to play from behind. So I think for me, it's going to be trying to get a score on that first or second drive.
Real quick, Chandler Rogers, I mean, there's really nothing more to say. But the more I think about this team, the more I go into every game saying North Texas has a chance because of him. Like,
yeah,
he is going to finish the game like 31 of 45 and for 300 something yards, and they're going to have a chance to win because of him. And I know against Tulane, they weren't able to, get down in the end zone to tie the game or win the game. But I mean, he is just so good, and Jamori Macklin is so good that I trust in them to score points against anybody.
I think it's really interesting of his path for his career because obviously he played at ULM and he had to kind of shoulder the team, and I feel like that's really helped him at North Texas, because he's been under that pressure. It's just easier now because he has. I mean, we heard him in the interview. He has one, resources just in general with his team, and then two, you have a lot more talent than he had at ULM. So he's probably like, this is easier. I can do this. I've been here. So I think that's really interesting. I mean, 14 touchdowns, 1 pick. Like, come on.
So
that's crazy. Whereas you look at Seth Hennigan, 15 touchdowns, 7 picks.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and they're throwing the ball a lot. Memphis is. They throw the ball to the running back a lot. It's going to be an interesting kind of air raid type game. You said the over-under was at 69. That's a very high total.
Yes, it is.
I do want to also say the UTSA game in 2 Saturdays is more important to me than this Memphis game.
Is it 2 Saturdays? Do we have 2 buys?
It's November 4th. Well, it's not this Saturday. It's the following.
Oh, duh. I'm thinking it's already my fault.
I worded that weird. I can't lie.
I got what you mean.
Yeah, in the following Saturday to me means a lot more. Like,
I'll say this: if North Texas, again, I expect them to be competitive in this game. If they are, then I expect to win against UTSA.
We'll see. Who does UTSA play this week? Because UTSA has been looking damn good.
They play East Carolina.
Okay, they should take care of East Carolina. ECU. Yeah, they should take care of ECU. That will be a fascinating game. If North Texas shows it, loses by 7 or loses by 10 and is competitive here, that sets up for a very, very interesting game against UTSA in the following week. I'm excited about that. So, all right. Anything else? Or we jump to our pick 'em?
Pick 'em. I'm good to pick 'em.
All right. Let me pull up the doc.
I'm terrified of this. Okay, so I got 1 point back last time. I'm down 3.
Updated score. Colin. Where'd it go? Colin 15, Brune 18.
I think so.
I think that's the correct score.
Sounds correct.
It was 16-12 going into last week, and you won 3-2. So, yes. Brune 18, Colin 15. All right, here we go. North Texas versus Memphis. Muted myself. Sorry. Do you want to start us off?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Over under. I'll just do what you said earlier. Over under Memphis points 34.5.
Do I have to? Oh, I have to pick first.
Yeah, it's my.
I think that's a pretty good line. I want to look at what the Vegas betting line is, but I'm pretty sure that's kind of close to it. I would assume, or it might be a little higher, like 38 or something. I can't 34 and a half. I can't. If it was 35 and a half, I would take the under. 34 and a half. I don't think I can take the under there. And North Texas could win a game where maybe Memphis scores 35 points,
They could.
but I'm going to take the over Memphis team total there.
I'm so glad you picked the over. Oh, I wanted the under desperately there. Wow.
All right, you have fun. Again, I think North Texas defense was very, very good in the second half. I think it showed improvement. I am positive about the defense,
Yes.
but I'm still scared. Still concerned. Not
Yeah.
quite all the way around yet.
North Texas is not allowed over 35 points in Slot Tech.
That's 31 to Abilene Christian. And
That's
FIU before that was what?
Is it?
45?
That's before La
Oh
Tech.
my
I'm
God.
talking about since La Tech.
So since La Tech, it's been Abilene Christian, Temple,
31,
and Tulane.
27, 14, 35. 35 on the dot. We're towing the line, obviously.
Oh my God.
But the goal is to be at 34 points.
All right. Do you have a second one?
Yeah.
Offense. Get specific. Let's get specific here.
Very specific here. Okay.
Or I mean, doesn't have to be very specific. It could be like a prop of player or something. I don't know.
Oh, I like this. Over under Chandler Rogers passing attempts. 40. Oh man.
For the year, Chandler Rogers has attempted 220 passes in 7 games.
Yeah.
So what is that, about 32, 31?
It's like 34.
That's not 34, Colin.
Well, he has 51, 39, 36, and 40, so it's not 32.
Colin, 220 divided by 7.
I'm just telling you, how can you average 32 if your lowest is 32?
I don't know, Colin. I don't know. I'm just telling you that it's 220. At least it says it on Sports Reference right here. 220 divided by.
Let me do some quick math right here.
Also, don't forget Stone Earl started 40. Has thrown 40 passes. So I don't know if you're including those.
This is not showing FIU.
Actually, and it's probably only 6 games because Chandler probably barely played in those other ones.
So, okay, not including FIU, he's averaging 34 passes a game.
Okay. Or not including the Cal, right?
Oh, not including Cal. I did
Whichever
the math
one
wrong.
he didn't play in. It
51,
doesn't matter.
sorry. Now I have to know this number.
It doesn't matter, Colin. He's
I
going
care.
like 34, 35. Just set the line.
39.6 in the last 5 games.
Ooh.
Over under 41 and a half.
41 and a half?
Yep.
I feel like you raised that up to try to get me to take the over because, I want to take the over and you're trying to get as much juice as possible here. I can't bet on him throwing 42 passes. That's so many.
His last 5 games, it was 51, 39, 32, 36,
Yeah,
40.
give me the under. I think that's a bad line.
I wanted the over on that. Let's go.
Oh, okay.
Let's go. This is big.
Colin.
This is big.
Wait, 41.5, right?
He's going to throw the ball. 41 and a half, yeah. He's going to throw the
right.
ball. What do you mean? This is going to be a shootout. Over under 69? Yeah. Come on.
Okay. Give me what is let's see. Let me think for a second. I mean, we got to come back to a Jamori Macklin prop, right?
I feel like we do one every week, but I like it every week. It's great every week.
All right, here's an interesting one. Jamori Macklin yards per reception. For the year, he averages 19.9.
19.9. God, this one's going to be one of those ones where he gets like a check down in like the 4th quarter and a room.
I mean, yeah, it is. All right, over under, Colin. 19 and a half.
19 and a half.
Yards per reception.
Oh, man. This. Okay, let me think this through. It's Memphis.
Yep.
Oh, man.
Talk us through it.
I think it's an easy under.
Ooh.
I think he's gonna have to throw short routes for Macklin because it's against a better defense. He only averaged 9 a reception against Tulane on 8 receptions. You might
Pulling
have
up,
just destroyed
but,
yourself. I'm up
but all it
3-0 in my
takes,
mind. I'm
Colin,
up
but all
3-0.
it takes is one big
One what?
play, one 45-yard play, and you're done.
One 45-yard play against a really good defense. Just one.
Also, yeah, 9.
I think that stat's inflated because of those 2
Abilene
receptions that he had
Christian.
of like 60 yards. Yeah.
All right, we'll see. We'll see if you're right. There's one. Second one. Let's go defense here. Here we go. Memphis. How do I word this? How do I do this? Okay. Memphis over under 39.5% conversion percentage on third downs.
What are we doing right now? What kind of stats are we keeping track
I
of?
love this number. third down.
I don't even know how to
from
check that average for the year. What are you doing?
Not that hard to check, Colin. Let's calm down.
Well, right now I'm just on ESPN.
No, I'm only worried about how we're gonna fit that in the graphic.
I'm just gonna put 39. Would you say 30? What was it?
39.5.
39 point. I'm just gonna put 39.5, and then put third down conversion rate. Third down.
Here.
Yeah, I got it. No, I get it. It's fine. It's fine. We got it. We got it.
I was gonna give you the stats if you wanted it.
Yeah, tell me the stats though. I do need that.
They're not in the top 50. Oh, this is offense. Memphis for the year converts 41.2% of its third downs.
And do I think it's going to be under that or over that? What Tulane have last week?
I don't know, Colin. I'm not helping you.
God. Third down efficiency, 715. That's right about there. Let's go.
This could be the difference right here.
Let's go over.
Okay.
Let's go over.
All right. Well, I believe in this defense, apparently.
I'm so confident. You believe in this defense, but you took the over on points. That's crazy.
Yeah, we're going to split this one right down the middle.
Okay, score prediction.
Give me Memphis 38-28.
38-28 Memphis. Okay, I need Chandler Rogers to throw the ball. I need under 34.5 points.
Yeah, I'm taking the under in this game, I guess. What is that, 66 points? There you go.
Something like that.
It is.
I'm going to go. Oh, man. I guess I'll go. Do I predict a North Texas win here?
Do it.
Man, if I got the win, that just leaves no doubt for the score prediction thing, too. I'm swinging swing large.
Or you could just pick a. Okay, do whatever you want. Go ahead.
I'm just going to go. I'm going to go 34-31 Memphis.
Okay. All right. There you go. There's our pick 'em.
So in the event that it's 38-34, who would win that?
I don't know.
Just a wash.
Wash.
Okay, that's fine.
If it's too close, it's a wash.
I just wasn't sure. Okay.
I think most scenarios though is it's either Memphis blowout win, which would be me, or it's a close game, or North Texas win, which would be
me. Okay. I just want to make sure, just
so
we had it clear, because I don't know, we might be a little hostile if I'm up some points and you're trying to get one back. So just need to be sure.
Yeah. Okay. We'll come back to this. We'll be good. All right. There's our pick 'em. Anything else before we jump over to basketball?
I think that's it.
All right. If you're watching on the YouTube side, thank y'all for watching this part of it.
Part 1.
And check us out on the basketball side.